Okay, today I'm going to be talking because it's just easier to explain what the heck I'm doing and how to do it. So today I'm going to be making a 3S battery pack, which is 3 lithium 18650 battery cells in series. You can add more in parallel. If you're wiring more in parallel, then you might want to get more BMSs and wire them in series, but you can do them in parallel. Yeah, it won't affect anything with the BMS. So here I have 3S BMS. I have the 3.7, all those inputs and such. I got some bolts. I mean, not barrel bolts. Kind of like nickel strips. Except for you don't have to do the nickel strips. And then you got like Vurzend, whatever this company's name is. I can't pronounce it. They come with these little caps right here, and they come with little bolts that you can put across it. And I'll show you in a second more. Okay, so more on how to do that. You have these little caps that you just slide on. Normally you'd want to test the capacity. As you can see the marker where I limited. This one's a 34 milliamp hour battery. I tested them using the Zenflare battery charger, NOR testing thingy. It will test and tell you your capacitance and everything. I'll put a link down in the description for that. I'm not sponsored by them. Okay, so how you do it is so you put them down together like this. Also, keep in mind, I'm doing this with one hand. So you just slide it. This is the V2.1, I think that's what it's called, kit. So they just slide together like that, and you want to keep your. This is my negative right here, and this is my positive. I'll explain to you why I'm having it in this setup. So you want like that. Okay, so now you can see that I have my one slide slot in. It just slides. I need to move the camera because I can't do this without two hands. Okay, and then that just slides in easy like that. And you have to configure these correctly. I'm not the world's expert on these to get more in parallel. Anyway, so that's how you put them together. So now if you want to connect them and make it a live circuit, what you're going to do is you're going to put a bare bolt across here, and then you're going to put 2 bolts right here. You can get I think it's like a 5mm wrench that you need, but I'm just using a wire stripper at the end of the tips to screw them down. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip it, so skip that in the editing. So then you're gonna put another nickel strip down here underneath these 2 connections like that. So imagine that's there, and then you're gonna have one connection that goes off right here, like that. And you're gonna bolt it. Then you have one connection that goes under here like that. That's gonna bolt it, and this is gonna be your negative and positive connections. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, thanks to editing magic, I have now finished it. So now if you did it correctly, you should have 2 extra bolts left. For right here and right here, I forgot that you don't need them there. So just discard those. So now you need your 3S BMS. You need a charging cable. You need a charger, which I'll mention later, and the link and everything in the description. Then you're going to need 4 cables. 2 of them need to be like this thick. The other ones just need to be like, doesn't really matter because they're just balancing cables. Technically, yeah, 2 of them. Okay, so these are going to be your charging inputs. So this right here is going to be my output connection. So I'll put my output connection with my charging input into the P plus and P minus. And the B plus is the battery positive. So that will go from here to here. And then this B minus will go from here to here. So if you look on the back of this BMS board, it tells me, so you got 3.7 volts. As you can see, it's the battery 1. So that means that should be, I'm just thinking in my head, oh yeah, okay, sorry, just thinking this ahead. I didn't think this ahead. Anyway, so this 11.1 volts, it's about the output peak of the 3 packs in parallel. We'll go to right here. So you have this one right here. So I'm going to solder this connection to up here, I'll do that in magic of editing. Okay, I finished soldering that one connection here. I'm not the best at soldering, but I think it's a pretty good connection. So this part, you're going to wire strip right here and connect here. You can either just slide it underneath the bolt or solder it to the bolt. I like to slide underneath it because it doesn't apply heat to the battery. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I have now connected it. I just have to lift it up. I mean, not lift it up, untwist it. And then I put the wire underneath it and twist it back down. You can take it out later if you want. So the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm not even going to show you guys because it's boring for you probably. So you're going to have your next 7.4 volt connection go from here, battery 2 to right here. And then you're going to have battery 1, which is 3.7, go right here. And then you're going to have your OV connection or your negative battery negative go right here. So right there, underneath the bare bolt. Or you could solder it to the outside, which is what you can do. It's just with the parts that I have. Okay, so I'm going to come back with you guys. Okay, so I finally finished doing it. So now it's all wired up, except for the charging ports. So just a recap of what I just did, I just wired all like the 7.4 volt where the power would be, and just to make sure everything works, you're going to want to take a multimeter, set it to your volt setting, and then just check. I just put my finger on the camera. I'm sorry about that. Check your voltage. You should get about 12.4 if you have completely fully charged lithium batteries to like 4.2 volts. So yeah, that's it right now. So the only thing now left that we need to do is we need to attach the charging cables. So when I was doing research for this, it was very, very hard to like tell if you need balancing chargers. It's very confusing because like lithium polymer batteries, you have to have balancing things because the power difference between the different cells and lithium polymer, lipo batteries, it like the cell voltage changed drastically. Whether this just does it like the balancing, it balances it with the BMS. That's what the BMS does. So you don't need actually a charger that balances it. You just need the two inputs. So the charger that I'm using is going to be a lithium-ion battery charger from the same company, Vurzend, or whatever their company's called. Or you can use your own charger that outputs 12.6 volts and 3 amps. Or 1 amp. It really just depends on how slow and how fast you want to charge. Yeah, actually don't go over 3 amps or else you might explode your batteries because of too much current going to these, because there's only 3 things and you're supposed to charge 1 amp per battery. Okay, max. So right now I'm using whatever this cable is called. I'm going to solder this cable on here to be my input, because both of these are your input and output. So I'm going to solder this right here and here, and then I'm going to solder this in and out, the out cable right here. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now that you've soldered on your connections, you're basically done unless you want to add a layer of heat shrink or put this in a hard case, which I probably will do. If you're going to put it in a hard case, put like pieces of foam on the corners to protect it. Also, make sure you use the right charger with the right amount of current, because if you don't, either your BMS will like do something to stop the overcharging. I don't know exactly what happens because I haven't tested it yet, because I don't want to ruin a BMS, a perfectly fine one. But what I'm going to do is just cover it in masking tape and then probably heat shrink it so you get a nice blue cover around it with the 2 cables coming out. So yeah, that's basically how to make a DIY 18650 battery pack. It's pretty simple. If you have any questions, like charging of it is like really weird and how to do a lot of research on that. But yeah, put any questions in the comments. Thanks for watching.